Legendary icon James Earl Jones has passed away at the age of 93. The source for this one I'm using is from Mark Kennedy at AP News. James Earl Jones, who overcame racial prejudice and a severe stutter to become a celebrated icon on stage and screen, eventually lending his deep commanding voice to not only CNN, The Lion King, but also to Star Wars as Darth Vader, has died at the age of 93. His agent, Barry McPherson, confirmed Jones died Monday morning at home in New York's Hudson Valley region. The cause was not immediately clear. Pioneering Jones, who in 1965 became one of the first African-American actors in a continuing role in a daytime drama As the World Turns, and worked deep into his 80s, won 2 Emmys, a Golden Globe, 2 Tony Awards, a Grammy, the National Medal of Arts, and Kennedy Center honors. He was also given an honorary Oscar and a special Tony for Lifetime Achievement. In 2022, a Broadway theater renamed itself in his honor. He hit an elegant figure late in life, with a wry sense of humor and a ferocious work habit. In 2015, he arrived at rehearsals for a Broadway run of The Gin Game, having already memorized the play and with notebooks filled with comments from the creative team. He said he was always in service of the work. Jones created such memorable film roles as the reclusive writer coaxed back into the spotlight in Field of Dreams, the boxer Jack Johnson in the stage and screen hit The Great White Hope, the writer Alex Haley in Roots, The Next Generation, a South African minister in Cry, The Beloved Country, and the King of Zamunda in Eddie Murphy's comedy classic Coming to America. He was also a sought-after voice actor expressing the villainy of Darth Vader, No, I Am Your Father, commonly misremembered as Luke, I Am Your Father, as well as the benign dignity of King Mufasa in both the 1994 and 2019 versions of Disney's The Lion King, and also announcing This Is CNN during station breaks. He won a 1977 Grammy for his performance on the Great American Documents audiobook. If you were an actor or aspired to be an actor, if you pounded the pavement in these streets looking for jobs, one of the standards we always had was to be a James Earl Jones, Samuel L. Jackson once said. Some of his other films include Dr. Strangelove, The Greatest with Muhammad Ali, Conan the Barbarian, 3 Fugitives, and playing an admiral in 3 blockbuster Tom Clancy adaptations, The Hunt for Red October, Patriot Games, and Clear and Present Danger. In a rare romantic comedy, Claudine Jones had an on-screen love affair with Diane Carroll. Jones made his Broadway debut in 1958, Sunrise at Campobello, and would win his 2 Tony Awards for The Great White Hope in 1969 and Fences in 1987. He was also nominated for On Golden Pond in 2005 and Gore Vidal's The Best Man in 2012. He was celebrated for his command of Shakespeare and Athol Fugard alike. More recent Broadway appearances included Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, Driving Miss Daisy, The Iceman Cometh, and You Can't Take It With You. As a rising star and television actor, he performed with the New York Shakespeare Festival Theater in Othello, Macbeth, and King Lear, and in off-Broadway plays. In 2022, the Court Theater on Broadway renamed itself after Jones with a ceremony that included Norm Lewis singing Go the Distance, Brian Stokes Mitchell singing Make Them Hear You, and words from Mayor Eric Adams, Samuel L. Jackson, and LaTanya Richardson Jackson. Okay, so I know you guys have probably your own memories and your favorite roles of James Earl Jones. Please let me know in the comments what you feel. I'm just going to tell like a quick story and then we'll go on to the next one, man. So for those that don't know, I have really been doing stuff in the industry since I was a kid, man. I auditioned for the Barney movie. I was almost an episode of Wishbone back in the day. I worked for Radio Disney from like 5th grade until I graduated high school. And one of the things that I actually did when I was a senior, there was this big conference that was going on. It was for like young artists and businessmen and women and all this kind of stuff. And they actually ended up having James Earl Jones as a major speaker for this event. Like he was the keynote speaker. And so just through some grace and some luck, I ended up being able to give like a big speech at the opening of this whole thing and introducing James Earl Jones as the keynote speaker. It was my first like professional hosting gig. I had already been doing the Radio Disney stuff, but that's more kind of like VO acting stuff. But this was like my first like hosting presenter type situation, man. Only for me to find out a few years later that James Earl Jones is actually first cousins with my play cousins, with my play auntie and my play cousins. For those that don't know what that means, it means that I'm not related to these folks by blood, but they're close enough to be blood, that I refer to this woman as my auntie. I refer to her kids as my cousins. That's what a play cousin, play auntie is, all that kind of stuff. So I have had a connection to him both in my career and in my personal life forever. And so to see someone that was so talented, that did so much, that fought through, for those that don't know about his stutter, that he had to kind of learn how to talk through and to become an actor. It's a super successful actor that is crazy. Him as an activist, all these things is huge. And I just feel awful that he's gone, man. This is one that really, really stings because of just what he means to me, what he means to entertainment as a whole, to actors as a whole, to black actors. All of the there's been a lot of toxicity in Star Wars over the last few years, man, and things kind of going sideways. He's one of the bastions and staples that nobody has ever had any issue with whatsoever. If anything, just realized how iconic his voice was and what he means to the franchise. This one hurts, but at the same time, I think the thing that was so cool is he lived to 93. This wasn't like a tragic, it is tragic, but it wasn't like Matthew Perry gone too soon, especially hearing that someone was actually trying to get him killed by taking his money type crap. Michael going too soon at 50. Like, he lived a full life and accomplished so many things. I'm sure if you had a chance to go back in time and ask him, that he wouldn't trade anything that he lived through for anything in the world, man. And so I just genuinely just want to, thank, if you can hear me from the other side, I want to thank you for allowing me to start my career through you. I'll never really forget that moment. And I genuinely just wish that you rest in power. Thank you for being a guiding light to so many of us, and to bringing so much comfort and joy to so many of us. So rest in power.